Alrighty, so I've got it hot glued together. I got my handy little hot glue gun over here. And so I was also able to make a couple of notches where those little triangles are going to fit into the bed. And it fits nice and snug in there. And so far, that's what we got. Okay, I've got the top section cut out, and I've already pulled off the edges of the foam so that it fits inside the width of the body and sits down flush. And I've already marked off my lines where I'm going to have the folds and bends. So looking at it, we're going to start with this one first right here, and this is going to be a bend inwards, but it's not very much. It's not a 90-degree turn, so I might get away with just scoring this foam real deep and just bending it. So one way you could do that is taking a barbecue skewer or a screwdriver, and you just run the edge of the screwdriver inside that groove there, and then you just take it and you can bend it just a little bit to get that little bend in there, just like that. And now when it fits back here and you glue it on there, it'll fit that bend. So then this one right here is going to be a 90-degree bend, so what we're going to do is we're going to fold this back, and we're going to do two 45-degree cuts on here. And as I mentioned before, if you're not comfortable using a razor blade to cut your foam, you can also do this with a sanding block and sandpaper. And if you cut through the middle of this bend, it is not the end of the world. You could go ahead and mask it up with tape. So this will give us our 90-degree bend like that. So now we're at that point there. So for this funky little cut right here, we're going to have to come in, and then we're going to bend it outwards so we don't have to do any special cuts, and it'll come up, but then it's going to bend down again going up here on the top. And for that, we're going to need two more 45-degree cuts on each side of this. We might, actually this isn't even a 90-degree. It's like a 45-degree on its own, so we might just get away with trimming one side in a 45-degree. So again, this first bend right here is going to go up like that, up, and then this one we're going to put a 45-degree cut so we could bend that back. We'll put the cut on this side, like that. So as we lay it in here, we will get that bend right there. We'll see if we can get it to help conform and bend a little bit more, like that. So now here is where we're at, and it comes down right there. And now we get to this part with this turn. And like I said, I had a trick for doing this. One thing we could do is we could remove this whole center section of foam right there, easily making that turn. But what it's going to do, it's going to lose a lot of strength in the front right here. And I don't want to do that. So what I did is I just lightly scored the paper right here in between these two lines. And that way I could go ahead and I could peel that paper off. Now I just have bare foam right there. And what I could do is I could start working it with my thumbs. And I'm kind of squishing on that foam and lightly, slowly bending it. And as I work it a little bit and I get it to take that shape, then it will still have the integrity of the foam in the front there, so it won't jeopardize anything. And the last thing I did was I removed a thickness of foam right there so that when it mates up to this part right here, it glues right to the front of it. Okay, one more note while the hot glue gun is heating up is that during the trial fit, I noticed that this front area right there wasn't seating all the way down. So what I ended up having to do was cut another 45-degree bevel into there, and now it's fitting all the way. So now we could go ahead. I think our hot glue gun is ready to go. So let's get to gluing this guy together. Okay, so we're very close at this point. It's got the shape of the camper, but right now it just looks like a plain old box. What we need to do next is we're going to have to add in some windows. We'll add a big window here, we'll add small windows here, and then we'll add a door onto the back. Okay, so I have my windows drawn out on here. I have a window on each side and one in the bedroom. I have the window right here that you look in through the back of the cab with. And in the back I have a door. And I have two vents that I've glued to the top. So it's looking pretty good. It's looking like a camper. Awesome. So right now at this point I have 3 pieces of foam fitting pretty snugly in there, but not too much, because I'm going to dab glue on here. I'm going to put the camper on there and then pull it off, and I want these to come out with the camper so I can press down on it, make sure the glue is nice and firm, and then that way now it's going to have some areas where it's going to fit in here snug. So let's get to that.